Hi guys. Today let's discuss the most generic thing in Power Apps, that is how to create a pop-up, right? As we all are aware, in each and every project of Power App, we get this requirement of creating a dialog box or a pop-up, right? So as an example, if I give you of any generic requirement, that is creating a dialog box whenever someone is deleting an item from the data source, right? Suppose we have a gallery and we have n number of items in the gallery displaying, right? And someone wants to go ahead and delete one of the item, right? At the time, an affirmation should come in for the users asking whether you want to delete this item or not, right? So such kind of requirement will be there, and sometimes client will come up saying that whenever you are creating a new item to a data source, suppose it can be event driven, like on click of a button or on click of an add icon, right? At the time, client will say we don't want to redirect to new screen, right? They want to continue in the same screen. At that time, we have to for them we have to create a huge size of a dialog box or a pop-up, right? Wherein which will display the entire form to them, where they can insert their metadata, like type in their metadatas for different fields, and store the data in the backend data source, right? So such are the examples where which can come in for us for creating a dialog box or a pop-up. So let's go ahead and see how we can quickly create a pop-up in a Power App. So as you can see my screen, we are into generic canvas app, okay, and I've named this application as a pop-up, okay. So as we know, we don't have an inbuilt feature in Power App when which I can drag and drop it as a dialog box or a pop-up, right? We have to create it from the scratch, okay. So for this, I'll just take it up an example, okay. Let's take an example of username and password dialog box, okay. Whenever someone is entering their username and password and then going further, right? So for that, I'm just adding few text labels and the text inputs, okay. Let me take a copy of these two, and I'm inserting a button, okay. So let me give this label name as username, username, and this as password, okay. And I'm gonna save this button as submit, okay. So my requirement over here is very simple. A user will come up over here and enter their username and password, okay. On click of a submit, a pop-up should come in for them for an affirmation, okay. So now, exactly now, our Power App pop-up creation will start, okay. So how we should construct a pop-up is, first step is we have to add a shape, that is rectangle, okay. So as soon as we add this shape, we have to cover our entire screen, right? Now we need some transparency to be added over here, right? So let me go to the fill property of this shape, okay. So as you can see, this is my fill property. I'm gonna make this transparent, okay. So I'm changing the color and adding some opacity, okay. As you can see, this rectangle shape is transparent now, right? And I'm gonna add one more rectangle here, okay. And I'm gonna change the color of this to this one, okay. Or I'll like make it more lighter, okay. So now I'm gonna add a label on top of this, okay. So this label is affirming the logged in user to continue them as an admin role, okay. Are you sure you want to, okay. Instead of that, do you want to continue as an admin? Okay, so it's gonna ask this question for them, and I'm gonna add two buttons here that will say yes or no. Okay, okay, I'm gonna say this as no and this as yes. Okay, and generally your pop-up will have one cancel button, right, like a close bar. So let's add that as well. So I'm gonna add this cancel batch. Okay, I'm gonna drag it to the corner. Cool, fine. So as you can see, it looks like a pop-up now, correct? So now what we need to do is, let me give some coloring as well. Okay, so this acts as a pop. So as you can see, I have added two rectangles and then a label, then two buttons for affirmation, and then one closing batch, right? I'm gonna select this all by holding a control button in the keypad. I'm gonna select all of them. Okay, as you can see, all of these six controls have been selected. And now I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna group them. Okay, so as you can see, this all are gone under a group. Okay, it's all categorized as group one. Why we have to do this is because group will help us manipulate or alter the properties of all controls at once. Okay, for example, all the control have some common properties, right? So this can change the common properties all at once. Like you don't have to specify each and every property for each control one by one. Okay, we can alter directly in a group. We can rename this group as well. I'm going to rename this as pop-up. Okay, now as you can see, I'm going to alter a common property now. Since all the controls will have a visible property, right? I'm going to the visible property of group, and I'm going to give this group as pop underscore up as a variable name. Okay. See, as soon as I changed this particular property to a variable, everything is broken here, right? Because I have just declared this variable here, but I have not initialized this anywhere. I'm not setting this variable anywhere. That's why it's all broken. Okay. So as you can see, all the visible property of the controls have turned to pop up now. Okay. That's why all each and every control is broken. Now, what is the requirement when I need to open a pop-up? That is on click of submit button, right? Now on click of submit button, I'm gonna update context pop underscore up. I'm gonna make it true, right? I'm gonna set this pop-up property to true, right? Because visible has only two variables, there's true and false, right? Only two things we have to set it up. Now as soon as the user clicks on it, I'm setting this variable to true. That means all the pop-up should be visible for me, correct? Let me copy this specific formula, and I'm gonna click on submit button now. See, our pop-up is visible. Now same as it's visible, we have to make it false as well, right? We have to close the pop-up as well. Since everything has the same property, we are turning it as true. We have to make the same thing as false when someone hits on this icon, that is cancel batch, right? So we have to go to the onSelect property, and I'm gonna again set this update context to false here. Okay, and the same thing should happen when someone is clicking on no. Okay, I'm going to the onSelect property and I'm pasting it here. Okay, now let's test this. So it's pop-up is open. I'm gonna click on cancel batch. my pop-up is closed. Again, I'm clicking on submit button and I'm clicking on no, my pop-up is closed. Okay, so this is a quick and easy way to create a pop-up, as you all can see. And we can on event we can add our other functionalities as well, like we can patch the things, we can submit our buttons. It's all upon based on our requirements. Okay, so hope you guys are now aware how to create a pop-up easily, right? Well, if this video helps you, please like it and keep watching my channel. Thank you.